Peace and love, everyone. Today we're about to talk about the spiritual benefits of weed. A lot of the spiritual YouTubers talk about it, but I'm going to go into a lot of things that they don't really talk about weed. Weed is an ancient, holy, healing plant. And it was talked about in the Bible, and in the Bible said it was called Kanabosm, Kanabosm, and it was said to be the main ingredient in Jesus's anointing oil. So the way that we use weed today, uh, we don't use it the right way, and let me explain that to you. So we over smoke, and whenever we smoke, we don't meditate. Whenever you smoke, you're supposed to meditate. But since we over smoke and we smoke so much, we're opening our pineal gland to bad vibrations. So we'll feel good and we'll feel vibrations, but they're bad vibrations, and we won't know that they're bad because we feel good from the high, but in reality we're getting a bunch of bad vibrations, and that's why some people get paranoid. That's why some people can't accept weed. I mean, if you're a stoner and you smoke weed all the time like I used to be, you typically always get a good reaction from it. And the reason why is because before you smoke weed, you're thinking like, oh, want to go smoke weed, want to go take a bong rip, I'm going to have a great time. Before you smoke, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to thank the plant. You're supposed to set good intentions. You're supposed to say, hey, I'm going to have a good time whenever I smoke this plant. I'm going to achieve what I want to achieve, and I'm going to do good. But the problem today is that we over smoke and we smoke too much of it. So you should do what is called a 21-day cleanse. It's where you stop smoking weed, get rid of all drugs, stop drinking, become vegan, and once you go through your 21-day cleanse, then on the 22nd day, you take a bong rip, you go meditate, and I can almost guarantee that you will astral project. And astral projection is basically just you tapping into your higher self. To tap into your higher self, you have to accept the good vibrations. And to accept the good vibrations before you smoke, you want to, like I said earlier, you want to set the intention that you're going to have a good time, that you're going to accomplish what you accomplish after you smoke this plant. You have to speak to the plant, you have to thank it, and you have to set the good intentions. Now, the real reason why weed is so looked down upon is because William Randolph Hearst, he was a guy back whenever they started like saying weed was bad. He had paper plants where they created paper, and he had newspapers and stuff like that, and that's how he made his money. So this man, he created, they were, let me explain this first. Hemp was coming out. They were saying that hemp was going to be one of the miracle plants. It's going to be great. It can be used as paper. That's why I wanted to get rid of it. It can be used as cloth for clothing. It can be used as hempcrete. They can make concrete out of hemp that's one, much more durable, one, much more light, much more cheaper, everything. It's better than wood. It's better than regular paper. It's better than most plants in every single way. I'm gonna link the Joe Rogan Experience. He talks more about it, but he didn't want weed to be around because the hemp was coming in part with the weed. And if the hemp came in part with the weed, then that would get rid of his paper industry. He would lose a lot of money. The newspapers, they would go to hemp, and he wouldn't have a reason to have his paper mills anymore. And that's why he started saying that, oh, like Mexicans come into this country, because at the time whenever they were making weed seem so bad, Mexicans were coming into this country and they were taking Americans' jobs, so they were saying. And he said Mexicans are coming into this country and they smoke weed and they're horrible, so you should stay away from weed and stuff like that. He put it on the Mexicans, which the Americans weren't liking at the time. He attached something to something that the Americans already didn't like, so they started to not like it. That's why weed was so looked down upon and why it's still illegal in some states today. And that's why hemp wasn't legal until I think around 10 years ago, and they still don't use hemp as paper and stuff like that, even though it's much more better for the environment. It's much more durable. It's better in every single way. And for spirituality reasons, in the Bible, that it is said to weed is said to give you divine knowledge. It said it with Kanabosm, but we know that Kanabosm and weed are the same thing. Uh, so yeah, like if you go on your 21-day cleanse, you cut out weed, you cut out nicotine, you cut out all other drugs, you cut out alcohol, you become a vegan, then on your 22nd day you go, you take a bong rip, or you brew it into a tea, which is the way that you're supposed to do it. You do that, you go and you meditate. I can almost guarantee that you will astral project. And a lot of the spiritual YouTubers today, they talk about how, oh, GMO weed, it's fucking with you, it's fucking with your brain, it's doing a bunch of bad shit. The way that you can still use GMO weed and you don't have to go and get mids or get organically grown weed, because not everyone has access to organically grown weed, and some mids are still fucked. So if you only have GMO weed, what you should do is you should brew it into a tea. And how you can do that is you get 3 cups of water, you bring it to a boil, you put in 2 to 3 tablespoons of organic coconut oil. That's what I use. Or you can use butter, but again, butter isn't vegan. So if you're going vegan, you want to use organic coconut oil. You put 2 to 3 tablespoons of organic coconut oil into the already boiling water. Then once it evaporates, you put like a half gram to a gram of weed in there. You could up the dosage, but if you just got off of your 21-day cleanse, I recommend only a half gram to a gram worth of weed. And that's how you can use GMO weed, and that's how if you only have access to the GMO weed, that's how you can use it. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I'm happy that I got that all in one take. Peace and love, everyone. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or if you're on my Snapchat, just snap me. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos now. So yeah, peace and love, everyone.